Does this look like where we were before? I think what we were talking about before was we had our space. We had, I think we were working on a next level. We had like a doorway here, and the doorway was going to open, and we were going to go to the next level in our game. So please go into your space. Make sure you have the camera set up in the room, just like mine is there. Make sure you have your doorway that opens when you get the key. That's right, and there was my key behind the drawer. So if I click on the drawer, I'm going to kind of slide by this guy. I think I open the door, and then I walk out the door, and I walk up to the door down here. I open the door, and I should be able to walk through the door, and it should take me to my next level. There we go. Right here on the side, there's a little square up in the corner, and if you click on this one, it'll show you your second scene. Okay, so we are going to work on hiding these 3 items, and when you find all 3 items, we're gonna maybe move to the 3rd level. So what I'd like us to do right here is let's come up to the top up here where it says code, and I want you to click on the code button. And I want you to come over to the side where it says code blocks, which is this part right here. There, we've done this before. This is the 2nd time we've done this. And this is like a fresh new coding page that we haven't done before. This is kind of a new one, okay? So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna learn how to like shrink items down, and when you get all 3 items, something happens. And it can be like, it's gonna be something. I'm not exactly sure what yet, but we're gonna make something happen. So what I want everyone to do is to click on events. That's the one with the flag on it. We've used it many times before. So it's the one with the flag on it. And I want you to pull out one that says when dice clicked. I want you to pull out another one that says when something clicked. And I want you to pull out a 3rd one that says when something clicked. And I want you to be able to click on the dice. I want you to be able to click on the flashlight. And I want to be able to click on the laptop. So I want to be able to click on those 3 things. That's going to be very important. So we're going to kind of work our way up the code. So you need 3 pieces of code here. I'm going to make it a bit bigger. So you can see it. And I just want everyone to have that code. Now, we talked about this before. With our code, we need to name it. Our folder needs to be named. So I'm going to click up here, and I'm going to rename my folder, and I'm going to call this, I'm going to call this hunt, because we're going to be hunting these 3 items. So I'm just going to name my folder hunt at the very, very top up here. So you should have when something is clicked, when something is clicked, when something is clicked. So everyone should have those 3 pieces of code inside of their CoSpace. Here's what we need to do. We need to make it so when we click on the item, it shrinks really small. So what I want you to do is once you've got your 3 pieces of code sitting here, these 3 pieces of code that you can see on my screen, I want you to come up to transform on the top, the one with the 4 arrows on it. We've used this before. And I want you to come inside of it, and inside of it, I want you to come down, and there's one, if you come all the way down, it's called scale, SCALE. So I need everyone to kind of take their time and go click on transform and come all the way down and find the one that says scale. And it says scale something by 2 in 1 second. It's kind of farther down. It's probably like the 6th or the 7th piece of code down, I think, or something like that. So you're gonna have to search for it and find it. So everyone should be looking for that right now. Once you have the scale code right here, once you have the code, you're gonna grab it and you're gonna put it one in here, one in here, and one in here. And watch this. This is gonna be super weird when you do this. Click play and click on the items. Oh, that's weird. When I click my flashlight, it's growing bigger and bigger and bigger. Look at it gets so big, it's actually bigger than the village. It's massive. It's like a huge flashlight. Now when I click on the dice, I think there's a problem. The dice is making my flashlight bigger. Let's go figure out why that is. So in my code, when I click on the dice, it makes the flashlight bigger. That is no good. So when I click on the dice, I want to make the dice bigger. So dice and dice. Flashlight, flashlight. Laptop, laptop. All right, there we go. So I'm going to zoom in, and everyone can take a closer look at my code if you want. So your code should look just like mine, and you can test it out by clicking play. And when you click on the item, it should make it like really big. It should like make it go huge, bigger and bigger and bigger. So I'll give everyone a minute to kind of set that up. Now my big question is, how do I make it smaller rather than bigger? I wonder if anyone knows the answer to that. I'm gonna click play. I'm gonna look down. Flashlight gets bigger every time I click it. Check it out. Laptop gets bigger every time I click it. Dice gets bigger every time I click it. Look at that. Negative, Marcus, you are so close. You are so close. It's actually not negative. You're very close though. It's decimal. It's a decimal. So maybe some of you haven't used decimals before, but follow my lead here. So what I want you to do, instead of the number 2 in here, I want you to put the number decimal 001. Okay? So go through all your code and type in decimal 001. And what that will do, it will actually shrink the item instead of making it bigger. Try it out, decimal 001. So every single one of your items should be decimal 001. Make sure you put that in for every single one of them. So let's try this out. I'm going to click play. Now when I click the laptop, it shrinks. Check it out. When I click on the flashlight, it shrinks. When I click on the dice, it shrinks. It's actually still there, but it's so small I can't see it anymore. It's like really, 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 really tiny. So everybody give that a try and see, make sure and test it. You have to test it because you can't just like hope it works. You have to actually run the code. And then click on your item and it should shrink down to like so small you can't even see it anymore. So give that a go. We could get it to say something. So let's see, what else could we do here? We get the dice to say something. So I'm gonna get the dice. If it doesn't shrink, it just vanishes. If it just vanishes, that means that you're doing it faster than 1 second. Make sure that it's 1 second here, rather than if you change this to decimal 001, it will vanish, like it'll just disappear. But if you change this to 1 on the end in 1 second, it will shrink rather than like vanish, which is what's happening with yours, Marcus. I'm assuming that's the problem, but if that doesn't solve it, I'll come in and check yours out, okay? Okay, so these all work. If you're feeling sassy, you can even make your guy shrink in front of you. So this guy's name is Fancy Man. I don't know why his name is Fancy Man, but I'm going to turn him on, and then I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to click on Fancy Man, and I'm going to make him shrink as well. It's kind of weird, but why not? Because I'm coding, right? So I can do whatever I want. So I'm going to make Fancy Man shrink as well. So let's see here. Let's click on him. And look at that. He shrinks. He gets like super small, which is kind of fun. So you're more than welcome to code the character to shrink as well. If you can't find it, you can click on the blue one on the top and you can click duplicate. You can make a copy of it. Do you see how I did that? Now drag that out and put it under Cupcake. There you go. Now change Candy Cane to Cupcake and change yeah, you got it. Awesome. You guys are doing really good. You're learning a lot. Okay, everybody. So I'm going to come back into my code right here. And what we're going to do is let's hide. I'm just going to kind of take my dice. I'm going to hide it somewhere. I'm going to put it kind of over here. I'm going to take my laptop. I'm going to kind of hide it. Where am I going to hide it? Maybe back here behind the building. I'm going to take my flashlight and I'm going to hide it kind of on the side of the house like that. Now, if you don't have a scene like mine where you can hide things, what I'd like you to do is to lay down some trees and maybe you can put some like cars and stuff like that to hide your items behind. So if you don't, my scene is a town, right? Yours is, I have no idea what your scene is, but you can grab some housing, you can put like chairs out, you can put some animals, you can put some cars, but I want you to hide your items behind something so they can't find them right away. You lost your radio. Now watch this. Watch what I'm going to do. Can you see me right now? Okay, you're going to click on, do you see the 3 little lines on the corner of the screen? Do you see where I am? There's 3 little lines. They're very, very small. If you click on them, do you see how the radio is one of the things right here? If you click on it, find the radio for you. And your radio is way over there. Do you see it? Yeah, do you want me to grab it for you? I guess that's a really good lesson for everybody. If you lose anything, you can always click on the side and find it in your It's called an inventory on the side. It shows you where everything is. So I'm gonna, while you're all kind of working on hiding your items and putting them in different places, I'm gonna show you how to make moving platforms that you can jump on and kind of jump around your level. And then maybe we'll talk about a floor that you can, that if you touch, maybe the game is over. So I'm gonna show you how to make a floating platform. And what I'm gonna do is I am going to start my camera on a platform, and then I'm going to have some floating platforms that I'm going to have to jump around to get to the items on. I guess maybe kind of like a parkour thing is kind of what I'm thinking a little bit for this level to make it a bit scavenger parkour kind of deal. So let's come down to library. So whatever you're working on right now, follow me along in this small part because I'm going to teach you kind of a couple cool little tricks how to make things move back and forth and how to make things move up and down that you can walk on. So we'll start really simple. We'll start with a very basic platform. So I am going to grab the brick wall. I'm going to bring it out. I'm going to rotate it, and I'm just going to have it like right underneath my camera. So I'm just going to kind of put it underneath my camera. And that means when I start my game, I am going to kind of land on the brick wall. Now I'm going to change the brick wall. The material, I'm going to change it to a, gosh, like a darker material, like a black material like that. And yeah, I'm just going to leave it as that. And I'm going to click play. And I should land on the brick wall and I should be standing on it. You can see if I fall off of it, I can jump back on it. But you should be landing at the start of your game, you should be landing on the platform. So everyone needs to kind of work on that right now. Don't make your platform too high, make it fairly close to the ground. And as we get better at this, we'll start to kind of make this a little bit harder, and I'll show you some tricks to make these platforms a little more interactive. So you don't want to put your camera through the platform. You got to put it above it so you'll fall onto it. If you're feeling kind of like, I want to make this a bit of a challenge, you can put your camera like way up in the air, and when you click play, you'll fall onto the platform from like way up in the sky. Okay, so I'm just going to jump back here. Everyone right now should be working on that platform on the ground, getting it like set. They should have their camera above it. I think my camera is way too high though. I should not have done that. Should not have put my camera up so high. I'm going to lower it. Okay, so once we've done that, we've got our first platform. Hopefully everyone by now has a platform and a camera. I'm thinking you're all moving a little faster now because you're getting more comfortable in the program. I want a second platform in front of my first platform. My second platform is going to be a moving platform, and it's going to move up and down. So what you're going to do is you're going to right click your first platform. You're going to duplicate it. So you're going to make a copy, and you're going to bring the copy and you're just going to put it in front of your first platform. So I have this one and this one. And here's the really important part, and everyone should pay close attention here. You're going to have to name this. You're going to turn it on in code, and you're going to call it platform 1. Because you're going to make multiple platforms out, and if you name every platform brick wall, it's going to be really confusing. So make sure this very first platform that you create, make sure you turn the code on and make sure you name it platform 1. That's going to be important for what we're going to code next. So I'll give you everyone a minute to get that all set up in their level. So they should have platform that you land on, and you should have platform 1 in front of it, which is we're going to code to move in a minute here. Looks like everyone has a platform. And what I'm going to do, this platform right here, I'm going to make it move up and down. So to do that, everyone watch very carefully here and see if you can follow along with me. I'm going to click on code. Now I'm in my coding part right here. And I think we've talked about this a couple times. We want to create a new folder. So click on the plus sign on the top, way up here. It's like a plus sign. And click on CoBlocks right here on the very top. And we are going to rename it. So click it again and click rename. And we're going to call this jumping, because this is going to be our jumping code. It's going to we're going to have like platforms moving around, and we're going to jump between the platforms. So you should have a folder called hunt, and you should have a second folder called jumping. That's the name of our 2 folders that we're going to be coding in for this next little session here. So to make it move, you're going to need a couple things. So the first thing you're going to need is a forever block. Does anyone know where to find the forever block? Control? Oh,
Yep.
you're right. Good job. So there it is. So pull the forever block out and put it right at the top. That's going to be our first piece of code. And then once you've got that, I want you to come down in the forever block, and there's a really weird piece of code, and we haven't used it yet because it's kind of a bit more advanced, but you're all getting much better now. And it's called run parallel. Can you see it? It's called run parallel. It's like farther down under control. Grab it, put it in your forever block. So that means we can run multiple platforms moving all over the place, which is really cool. So watch this. Let's start with one platform. So go to your transform, click on transform, and I'm going to get you to grab the move one. It's at the very top. It's a really nice, simple piece of code. So go to transform, grab the move, and put the move inside the run parallel block. So put the move inside the run parallel block, and I want you to change the move to the platform one. And I want you to move it, well, you can decide. I'm going to move mine, well, I guess I can move mine forwards and backwards. I've rotated it, so it's going to move in kind of a different direction, but we'll try that out first. So move platform 1 meter forward in 1 second. So I'm going to actually move it 1 meter forward in 2 seconds. I'm going to make it a little bit longer. Now, once you've done that, duplicate this block and move it backwards. So move platform 1 meter forward in 2 seconds, and then move platform 1 meter backwards in 2 seconds. They're the same block of code, but check out what they do. Watch this. This is super cool. Now your platforms will move up and down like they're floating. I know it says forward, but the problem is we rotated it, so it's all like kind of, it's a bit, the directions are a bit messed up, but that's okay. If you want it to move sideways, you can move it left and right or up and down. Experiment with these. So I want everyone to right now to work on creating a floating platform that's going to go up or down. I want everyone to focus on this piece of code that I've built out in front of you right now. Everyone should be working on building out a floating platform that goes up and down. So let's see, I have platform 1. Some of you I know already have a platform 2, but I'm going to click on my jumping code. I'm going to duplicate my moving code. I'm just going to copy it and duplicate it. And instead of platform 1, I'm going to use platform 2. So I'm going to move platform 2, and I'm going to move it forwards and backwards. So you can see I've got platform 1 moving in these 2 pieces of code, and then I've got platform 2 moving in these 2 pieces of code forever, and it runs parallel. Now here's the crazy part. You can click on this weird little and it will add more. So you can keep adding platforms. Look, if I click it again, watch, add task. I can add more and more and more platforms, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to add, I think, 5 more, maybe 5 or 4 more platforms. Okay, so let's see. I want this one to move 2 meters. I want it to be like bigger. There we go. So that one is 1 meter. That one's 2 meters. You can see that this one is actually a bit higher. It like goes up a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to move, I'm platform 3. So I'm going to grab another one and I'm going to push it out. There's my third platform. I'm going to kind of come around this way. And I'm going to platform 3. I'm going to create kind of a special moving platform. And to do that, you use the path function. So we did paths before. I think we made a path with our, what was it? With our animal that we had. I think we made like a parrot or a bat flying around a path. So you can make a platform with a path as well. So to do that, all you need to do is come into the library, special, and you can grab, I'm going to grab a circle one, just a regular kind of circle that looks like that. And I'm going to pull it out. I always right click the circle first and make it nice and big so I can see it. There we go. And I'm going to drag it. I'm going to put it kind of over here. And this is the cool thing about paths is you can make them really like kind of organic. So you can kind of make them a really weird shape. See how strange my path shape is, like really kind of all over the place. And what I'm going to do is with my path, oh, gotta make sure I don't lower the whole thing. I'm just going to lower it down a bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach a one of these platforms to the path. So let's make a new platform. I'm just going to pull a new one out, bring it up, and I'm going to rename this. Actually, platform 4. I'll leave it at that name. That's a good name. So platform 4 is turned on. So I've got an extra platform right here. And the last thing I need to do is just move it on the path. So that code's really easy. I just come up to code. I come down to my jumping code. And down here, I have all my code. And I have an extra one down here. You can see I've opened it up. And I'm just going to grab the transform. And I'm going to move, it's the third one down. We already used it for our animal. So it's move something on path. So I'm just going to grab this. And I'm going to move platform 4 on the path. So let's see what that looks like. I don't really know if that's gonna, how that's gonna look. Where is it? Oh, okay, it's weird looking. Look at, look how strange it looks. It's like moving around, but it's straight up and down. So that's a bit of a problem. So what we're gonna have to do, that path looks really weird. It's like flying around for no reason. So what we'll do is rather than, I think we'll rotate it this way. Let's try and rotate it so it's standing straight up and down. Let's see if that makes a difference. I don't know if that's going to make a difference. Nope, it's still going the same way. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to squish the platform. And I'm going to have to make it big this way, I think. That way. Let's try that. Let's see if that's any better. There we go. Okay, so this is cool. Check this out. I've got a platform that's running on a path. Now, if I can get on it, oh my gosh, I messed up. If I can get on it, I think, yeah, I'll follow it. Check it out. I'm on my platform path now, flying around my level. Oops, I fell off. But for those of you that want to create a bit more advanced path, you can use the path command and then run your platform around a path just like I'm doing right there. You can see it's just kind of flying around like that. Let's see if I can get, oh no, I keep going down. Do I go up? I think I keep going down. Yeah, look, I'm going down to the ground. Okay, Aiden, let's see. We need to figure that code out. So this one right here, what's that? What's that one called? Platform 1? This is called B. So let's see what B is doing. B is, move A and B. So you want to move A. Okay, I see what you're doing here. You want to move A forward, and then you want to move A backwards. You want to move B forwards, and you want to move B backwards. And UWI, I'm not sure what that one is. But that one's just moving forward. So Aiden, I'm going to jump back into yours. Now they should move up and down properly. Let's see. See that? See how they're moving like up and down? There we go. I'm going to jump from this one onto the, ooh, I made it. Oh, I can't jump very high. Oh, I didn't make it all the way down to the ground. The level we built out is pretty good, but the problem we have is there's no way for our character to lose, really. I mean, they can jump on the platforms, they can hit the ground, but nothing happens. So we want to have a way that if the character falls into the ground or hits the ground, that it's game over for the character. Let's click play on that and see what that does. Oh, okay, it's moving it, but it's like sideways. Like that. So I think I just showed you how to do that in my other, what I was just working on there. So this, you need to squish it this way. Let's see if that helps to flip it sideways. Let's click play again. There you go. So yeah, I'll let you figure that out. That's working really well now. That looks really good. Okay, where was I? I was coming back into my space. Okay, so I've got about, yeah, 5 to 10 minutes left. So I'm gonna let you guys play. But before that, I just want to show you how to end your level. Like if you fall into something, it's a game over. So what you want to do to make a game over, and you want to be careful here, is you want to grab a big piece of glass. So come into building, and there's a piece of glass right here. You can bring it out, and I like to flip the glass sideways so it's lying on the ground like that. I push it into the ground, And then what I want to do is I want to put I want to have the piece of glass bigger and underneath my, like where I fall off. So anywhere that I fall off, there's a piece of glass that I land on. You can see I'm kind of making it like pretty wide. So I got my big piece of glass underneath all of my pieces of my platform. And I'm going to rename it, and I'm going to call it game over. I'm going to call my glass game over, and I'm going to turn it on. So I'll let everybody kind of catch up and get that piece of glass underneath on the bottom. So basically what we're going to say is if the camera touches the piece of glass, like if it falls off of the platform and touches a piece of glass, your game is going to restart. So it's going to restart you from it's going to restart you at the spawn point where you start your game. So, but to do that, of course, you have to have the piece of glass underneath. So if you don't have the piece of glass, you need to put that down right now. So I'll wait until everybody gets that done, and then I'll talk about how to code that. So I'm just going to make my glass a little bit bigger because I want it to cover a lot of my level here. And I guess I do have those pieces that I want to shrink. So I'm going to grab those pieces actually, and I'm going to put them on the platforms or close to them. So I'm going to put my flashlight, zoom in here. I'm going to put my flashlight kind of on top of this platform, like there. And then I'm going to grab my piece of dice and bring it up. I'm going to bring the piece of dice over to this platform right here. So I have to like come up to it. And I had one more thing, but I can't remember what it was. I'm going to find it. So I'm going to click on here, and it was a laptop. That's right. So where's my laptop? Gotta find it here. Let's do transform. Gotta locate my laptop. No idea where it is. So let's look around my level. My laptop is way over in the corner over here, way far away. So let's bring it over here, and I'm gonna put the laptop up here. So kind of sitting there. So I have my flashlight, I have my dice, and I have my laptop, the three things that I'm going to click on. So I kind of have them hovering above my platforms, although my dice could be a bit lower. There we go, my laptop, kind of there. All right, let's see what this looks like. I don't know what this looks like. So there's my dice. I can click on it, it shrinks. If I click on my flashlight, it shrinks, and there's my laptop, it shrinks. Perfect. Okay. So the last piece here is we need the game over component because we want to have it so if we fall off of the platforms that our character, yeah, it's not a good thing, right? So click on code, and I'm just going to click the plus sign up here. I'm going to create another code block, and I'm going to rename this one game over. So game over, like that. Yeah, and I think this one's only one piece of code, or actually two pieces of code. So it's pretty simple. It's just under control, and it is actually, sorry, it's not control, it is under events. And it is when something collides with something. We did this one with the move from one level to another. So we're going to do when the camera, now you'll notice my camera doesn't appear on here because as usual, you have to turn the camera on. If you don't turn the camera on in your code, you can't use it. So when camera collides with game over, which is this one right here, I think we only have to do one more piece of code. And it's under control, and it's called restart scene right here. It's almost at the bottom. So I'll leave this code up for you to check out if you're curious. But that piece of code that you see right there is what resets your level. So if I fall off and I hit the glass on the bottom, it's going to put my camera right back at the start, and it restarts my scene. So I'll leave that there. And yeah, I'm going to stop talking now for a little bit. And if you have any questions, you can ask. Or if you want me to check out your scene, what you've been working on, you can throw it into the chat there. Okay, let's try yours out. Ooh, this looks good. Ooh, oh, yours are like kind of sideways, eh? This is nice, Leo. Can I get on that bus from here? I'm gonna try and do it. Hold on, hold on. No. No, I didn't make it, but that's okay. That's awesome. Good work, Leo. That looks really good. You even got a truck behind it, a CoSpaces truck. That looks awesome. Good work. I love it. Good. You got your book there, Karis. That's awesome. And good. All this code looks good. When you collide with the, is this your glass right here? Grab the arrows and you pull, and that will, yeah, that helps you do that. So hold on one second, Karis. I think that should run your code. Let's try it out. When camera collides with, oh, what is the name of our glass? It's called glass wall. Let's call it game over. Whoops, game over. I'm just renaming it for you, Karis. And then I'm going to click play, and let's see if it works. So if I jump on your platforms, it's good. If I fall in the glass, oh, it's not resetting. That's weird. I wonder why that is. Oh, it's when camera collides with book. That's why. When camera collides with game over. That's what we want. So let's try that again. So I'm going to jump up. I'm going to jump up, and I'm going to fall into the glass. And it restarts my level. See that? This is good. What's this? What's this right here? Looks like some kind of I'm gonna check your code out. So what you need to do is, I'll help you out. Grab a big piece of glass, and you want to put it on the very bottom of your level, just like that, and push it down. And you want to stretch it out kind of like that, so it's like covering a whole bunch of the bottom of your level. And you want to rename the glass to game over, like that. And then I just turn it on so I can code it. Now, Amanda, are you watching me? You're gonna have to put a little bit of code here. So you put some code up on the top. We're gonna rename it. We're gonna call it game over. And I think we only need 2 pieces of code. So when camera, hold on, where is your camera, Amanda? Can't see it. Where's your camera hiding? Can't see your, oh, there it is, way up here. When camera, I'm gonna turn the camera on. So when camera collides with game over, you just reset the scene, which is right here. Okay, Amanda, give that a go. See if that works for you. Okay, everybody. We are pretty much out of time, but thank you so much. And if you check on the Edith Lando site soon, I'm going to be putting all of your games up on a web page. So I've built a little web page to show everyone your games that you've been building. And you can come back and check out your games and everyone else's games in your crew. So once that's totally ready, and I'm just building it out now, I will send that out to you, and you can check out the website and check out the other students' games. Yeah, and that's about it.